Continuing coverage now, that deadly explosion after an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England. Joining us on the phone now is Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, founder and president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. He is also the author of A Battle for the Soul of Islam, an American Muslim patriot's fight to save his faith. Dr. Jasser, thank you so much. And on the fight goes, sir.
You know, my thoughts and prayers are with the victims and families, and now, sadly, we are probably going to end up adding Manchester to the list of cities that have been beset with this horror, with this evil, and now we see our children, our families, no one is spared to the barbarism of this evil. And, you know, obviously there's some speculation yet until we get details, but the suicide bombing, the use of a nail bomb, as we saw in Brussels in 2016, the UK has seen fora of the ISIS threatened recently, and reports in May 14, just a few weeks ago, that they were calling upon their followers to hunt the prey, which included attacks on MPs that they were calling for leading up to the elections. And we're seeing that the perimeters need to be widened at events, as we saw in the airport attacks in Istanbul and elsewhere. They will defy security and attack wherever they can. No target is hard anymore. There's softer and softer targets. And we just have to steel our resolve and realize, I mean, you know, now is the time that hopefully in the next few days we'll see the Muslim mayor of London speak out forcefully and aggressively that Prime Minister Cameron was right when he called in Munich for the addressal of the ideology of Islamism. And we've seen Britain take some steps back, and I hope we see some changes in that.
What is the aggressive tone? I mean, what would you like them to say, Dr. Jasser?
I'd like them to connect the radicalization process to not just when they put on the suicide belt as being violent extremism, but when the ideology in which Britain has had almost 500, if not more, British Muslims serve in ISIS in Syria, which almost rivals in some studies more than that have served in the British Army. That is a problem. When you have Muslims that want to die for a cause of jihad, that's a militant, radical caliphism in Syria, what is doing that? What is radicalizing them and separating them out? Why don't they want to die for Britain? That process is not only a separatist movement, but it is evil, and it is a problem that only Muslims can solve. And we need to begin to address it early on, from the time in which our youth are told that West is not theirs, that British nationalism is not their nationalism. That's when you address it, not later when they're getting ready to put on the suicide belt and they become a military target. It needs to be earlier on, and it's the ideology of Islamism, political Islam, the separatist movement of belonging to a global Islamic state rather than belonging to the British state, the UK, America. And they will do anything in which, and I'll tell you, we're only a few days from Ramadan. And as much as Ramadan is a time of atonement and coming to peace with oneself, it is also, we see spikes and terror attacks every year at this time in Ramadan. And the reason is there is a unmistakable linkage between the theology of these radicals and their interpretations of Islam.
Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, Dr. Jasser, thank you so much, sir.
Anytime. Thank you.
And for those of us just joining us, tonight, if you missed it, around 10:30 Manchester time in England, at the arena with the Ariana Grande concert just ending, there was a loud blast. They thought it was from inside the arena. Turns out it was from outside the arena near the box office, between Victoria Station, the train station, and the arena itself, where the parents were standing outside to pick up their children. Right now, we know that 19 people have been killed. At least 59 have been injured. Those numbers are clear to change. Continuing coverage right here on the Fox News channel. I'm Trace Gallagher at the Breaking News Desk in Los Angeles. Good night.